here doesn't mean we miss the best guests. And that is going to be joining us here, third base coach for the Athletics, Eric Martins, who I saw some red bleachers behind him. Must be at the wonderful Fenway Park. Coach Martins, looks beautiful there. Oh, my, look at that. Wow. That is absolutely incredible. Coach Martins, I was just in Chicago last weekend and got to go to a game at Wrigley Field. Obviously one of the classic, beautiful stadiums in this country. What, if you had to give us one, what's your favorite ballpark?
Wow. I mean, that's a tough question. I got a top five, that's for sure. I mean, a day game in Wrigley, there's nothing better than that. I mean, LA is great. The Dodgers, I mean, that's where I'm from. It's just something special about there. I really like Seattle. I really like Minnesota. It's crazy. I know there's some different ones out there that I really like.
Yeah.
We're heading to Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh's going to be really nice. So I mean, there's it's hard to name just one, but I do have a list of stadiums that I really like. So this is one of them. This is just so iconic. I mean, you walk on the field here, and it's crazy, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, with those kind of ballparks, I mean, specifically, Fenway and Wrigley, like, do you kind of feel, even as a coach, like, do you feel the gravity or the weight of being in those venues?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you walk through it's weird here because you walk down the stairs from the clubhouse here and walking down the stairs through the tunnel to get up to the field, and you get to the field level, it still gives you a little bit of still gives me goosebumps, you know what I mean? It's being able to walk onto the field here at Fenway and, watching all our young players who have never been here walk through it and experience it. It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I mean, definitely still gives you those moments of being like, wow, this is really special.
So I know Sutter Health has some quirks to it, but Fenway and Wrigley are kind of notorious because they're so old to just have some of the most insane stuff. Wrigley's got seats that are completely blocked or facing the wrong way. What's maybe some of the crazier things that you've seen in some of these older parks?
Well, I mean, here I'm sitting in these seats and I'm like, I don't know how people can sit in these seats for 9 innings and because they jam you in here. I mean, these seats aren't very comfortable. They're hard, but there are some obstructed views. I mean, you got the pillars in some places, you got pesky pole down in right field. And so, and as far as the quirks on the field, you got pesky pole, you got the monster, you got different kind of things here. So it's definitely a different feel of a stadium because if you look at it from the side, it's just, there's so many different angles that, when we come here as a team and people if you haven't played here, you got to really get used to it and get out there and kind of get the lay of the land. So,
man, absolutely. Fenway is definitely on the list of stadiums that I got to go visit. But let's talk into some baseball here. Coming off the sweep of the Reds that you guys have, you guys now sit 10 games under 500. I saw that you guys are 51-18 when you score 5 or more runs. And I don't mean to turn it into a negative, but just how much do you guys think about that rough stretch that you guys went through in May and just how different the season could have looked if that just went a little bit different?
Well, that is the season, what I mean? And I think I publicly say it all the time and say it on the show a lot. I mean, even if we cut that in half, we're sitting somewhere different, maybe we don't make the moves that we made and maybe one of those things that, you go through those stretches, you hope and pray that it doesn't go as long as it did, but unfortunately it did for us. But, we also learn from those things too. So it's like, we got to go out there. We just got to, finish off strong and still be able to go out and finish off the season where we want to. And I mean, ultimately the playoffs is what we want to do, but we're playing playoff teams right now. So we have a chance to go out and show them what we got. So, which is good. And we're playing some pretty good baseball right now. And I think our guys have got the eye of the prize of finishing up strong, being able to go out and play these playoff teams pretty good.
We got Coach Eric Martins, third base coach for the Athletics. Coach, now we got to get to the positives, and there was maybe not a bigger, louder positive than Nick Kurtz on Saturday, hitting that, 493 dead center grand slam. I mean, I guess you were at third base, but kind of what was your vantage point of it? I know I saw a video of Lawrence Butler just turning around and looking like Vincent Van Gogh Scream. Like, what were your thoughts when it happened? And just in general, I mean, how special is it to just watch Nick Kurtz hit the baseball?
Yeah, I mean, I got one of the best views of it. So I, as soon as it left the bat, I was like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So, and just watch it. That ball got small real quick. I think they're still picking it up off the bridge somewhere. 193 feet, I think was they might have short side on that because that ball looked like it was it just did. No, I mean it was special to hear it and to see it and to be able to get that view from it. But it is when you're field and you get to see it like that. It definitely gives you a different vantage point, so which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it was one of the furthest ball. I mean, it was the furthest ball hit of the MLB season. And I think Kyle, the board op over there, said that they have not found the ball. They're still trying to find it. They're trying to retrieve it. Who knows if it's even landed yet? I also saw a video of
exactly.
Butler the other day saying that he thought Nick Kurtz is, and just as a hitter, he put him kind of in the top 5 conversation, put him with the Judges, the Otanis, the Sotos. I won't make you put that level of pressure on him, but again, I mean, I guess I'm just asking, do you feel like that's fair? Do you feel like he can be in that conversation? Do you feel like he already is in that conversation?
Now, you know what I mean? He's showing what he can do, and he's going to be in that conversation soon. But now would be a little bit too. It would be unfair to him, and unfair to some of the players that have done it for a little bit longer than he has. So, but we talk maybe next year, and we talk a little bit later. He's definitely going to be in that conversation.
There you go. That's exactly what you should say, Coach. You don't want to put all the pressure on him. I mean, look, let the numbers do the talking, though. 16 Oppo home runs, leading Major League Baseball, tied with Aaron Judge. 32 home runs in, 90 games or something like that. You don't have to put the pressure on him. Let everybody else do the talking. But we all see what's happening here. We understand how special it is. And just to, I don't mean to make you speak for Lawrence Butler, but again, I saw him say that he thinks you guys are or can be or on the fringe of being a top 5 offense in this league. I kind of mentioned you guys being 51-18 when you guys score 5 or more runs. Do you think that you guys are that good of an offense? Do you feel like, again, maybe next season that's going to be the goal for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers. I mean, we're going to have 3 guys hit 30 and close to 4 guys that hit 30 home runs. But on top of, we got Jacob Wilson who can hit for average, and you got Rooker who can hit for average, Kurtz who can average. I mean, Lawrence Butler is not having his best year that he did, but he's still putting up some pretty decent numbers, and he's going to learn from what he did this year. We got other guys, Langoliers, and, we're finding guys that are starting to come up and do some stuff. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time for our offense, and, we got to just put everything together because we feel like we're in every single game. It doesn't matter if we go out and we give up a few runs the first inning, we're going to gradually come back and be able to win that ball game. So we definitely are an offense to be reckoned with, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and that is definitely clear and evident from everything that you've seen from this team so far this season. Coach Eric Martins, thank you so much for joining us. You can go ahead and enjoy your time over there in Boston as the season's wrapping up. But thank you so much for joining us, and I believe we'll have you next week as well.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it. Take care.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Third base coach for your Athletics, Eric Martins. A lot of great stuff there. Absolutely love to have him on every single week. You can catch him and Allen talking. You can check out our YouTube page to go check out the previous interviews that Allen has done with Coach Eric Martins. He's been joining us all season long, giving us all the insight on A's baseball. So we really, really appreciate him. And I'm not joking. Like I don't have a long list of stadiums that I'm trying to visit that I like are on my must-haves, but Fenway is definitely one of those where, even Frankie the Yankee, our dear coworker, had to make sure that I think he even got seats on the Monster.
We bring the ball. That's what we do.
So, it's one of those stadiums where you have to be there. And again, like I think it's quirky for sure. Again, like they built those things, they just plopped them in a neighborhood, so the dimensions can be a little bit strange. Not the on-field dimensions, but those are a little bit strange too. But more so like the orientation of the park. Again, some of the seats turning the wrong way, obstructed views. I've seen some YouTube videos of people who are like consciously trying to get the worst seats possible in those things. don't think that's what I'm going to do, but they quite literally don't make stadiums like that anymore. And I think, that's kind of the charm of going to those Fenways, those Wrigley's and things like that. So there you go. You heard me mention it. The A's, only 10 games. I say only 10 games under 500. Again, they just absolutely could not find a win in that month of May, and that really sunk their entire season. I can't remember what exactly the number was, but it was like I think they had won 2 of 22 games or something like that in the month of May. And you heard Coach Eric Martins really just lay it there. Like, that was the season. And that's crazy to say in a season as long as baseball, but that's also how bad they played for that stretch of games.
Yeah, I think they bring up that since July 27th, they have like the 4th best record in baseball.
Really?
Yeah, if you, again, take out that stretch, they would be 10 games above 500, which, again, is a big thing to take out, going 1-21.
Sure. Yeah.
But they would be kind of a fringe playoff team if, like Eric said, if they just went like 8-12 during that stretch instead of
average.
Yeah, 1 and
slightly below.
Yeah, they would be not in the playoffs, but they would be in the race right now with Texas and Boston and Seattle, and Houston, who are all kind of fighting for that last wild card spot.
Yeah, and to be fair, especially hindsight being 2020, it was a pretty brutal stretch. I mean, they went from playing the Yankees, who they actually, they took 1 of 3, but and then they took 1 of 3 from the Dodgers, but they won the first one against the Dodgers 11-1. I feel like something memorable happened in that game that was like a multi-home run game or something. There was something really special about that game.
Langoliers did something.
Yeah. Maybe it was that, because there was something where it was like, oh my God, the A's just beat the Dodgers. Like, are they kind of building towards something? And then lose the next 2 to the Dodgers, get swept by the Giants, get swept by the Angels, take 1 of 3 from the Phillies, get swept by Houston, get swept by Toronto, and then lose 3 of 4 to the Twins. And as Eric Martin said, that's your season.
Yeah.
All in the month of May. And after that, I mean, you're just chasing yourself at that point, and they've done a great job. To Kyle's point, fourth best record in MLB, really pretty much post that stretch, and it just doesn't matter because they put themselves in such a deep hole. But I guess all you can hope for a casual A's fan or athletics supporter, if you just want to go to games, like I do think next year it's got to feel like they're at least building towards more excitement, right? Like Kurtz will be there day 1. Jacob Wilson will be there day 1. Mentioned Lawrence Butler, who had a really slow start to the season. Brett Rooker had an incredibly hot start to the season, in a sense, cooled down in terms of the power hitting. There's definitely a world where all the things are clicking for the A's at the same time. And they're at least, the A's that we've known them to be off and on throughout this generation. And it's just, the team that can compete in the AL West, but I don't know if we're going to be talking about them competing for a World Series anytime soon.
I don't know. You should say fingers crossed, too, because if Mason Miller has taught us anything, you don't know who's going to be on the A's the next day.
I mean, we can talk about their offense night and day. The problem with this team is not the offense.
Oh, sure. But, like, Mason Miller was the rare combination of a player is great right away and had team control, and they traded him for guys who, again, might be better than Mason Miller, but again, it doesn't help people in Sacramento because those players are never going to play at Sutter Health Park.
No, yeah, DeVries or DeVries.
DeVries. Yeah,
I said DeVry like university.
I did. Don't worry, I did the same thing.
I mean, yeah, to your point, like he'll play when the team goes to Vegas. Like Sacramento's not going to know those guys, but again, and even then, that's more hitting, maybe some defense, not really solving their problem of pitching.
But these are the names you just mentioned. These are the players who are going to be associated with the Sacramento era of the A's. And Allen keeps making this point, and I think I've come around on it, is like if they are in the playoff race next year, I think they're going to sell pretty good tickets. I think the PR of it all is kind of washed at this point. You're never going to be able to win all those people back, but I think if they're, in the 5 seed or the 6 seed come July, I think they're going to be selling out most games. I think that's the one saving grace that's left for them, is if they have a playoff caliber team.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know.